What can you do when you don't have enough bandwidth to enforce your intellectual property? Over the years, we've seen hundreds of brands try to handle e-commerce enforcement in-house. In fact, we've seen the unauthorized seller problem handed off to in-house legal teams, sales and marketing teams, operation managers, and brand protection managers. What do all of these groups have in common? None of them have training specific to e-commerce enforcement. None of them have access to the right tools to handle and scale in volume. None of them have time to take on an entirely new and time-consuming duty, let alone learn how to do it from scratch. All of them are frustrated by continuing to play a game of whack-a-mole and trying to control sellers. So, what is a company to do when in-house attempts at e-commerce enforcement fail? Outsource, of course. At eEnforce, our team has been laser-focused on stopping unauthorized sellers and other online offenders for nearly a decade. Well-rounded team in place now. Former law enforcement and licensed cyber investigators. Former law enforcement agents experienced in conducting high-stakes investigations. Current private industry members of the FBI InfraGard and Secret Service Financial Crimes Task Force. Fully licensed and legally sanctioned to conduct the type of investigations needed to take down unauthorized sellers. Computer programmers and engineers, dedicated to developing and updating state-of-the-art enforcement and identification tools. Built a database of over 150,000 top retailers known to repeatedly engage in illicit sales and sophisticated hiding techniques. Created an automated, i.e. cost-effective, method of getting rid of mom-and-pop sellers, and more complex systems to identify, track, and permanently remove sophisticated sellers across multiple platforms and websites. Existing relationships with professionals. The eEnforce team has also worked with necessary professionals around the globe who are needed to take down illegal sellers. AM 100 law firms specializing in trademark infringement and other intellectual property violations. Litigation attorneys from all over the country who can assist with things like cease and desist letters and/or sending draft federal court complaints to the most tenacious sellers. Legal and investigative teams for tackling gray and counterfeit sellers in the Asian markets. Customs and Border Patrol agents who work on counterfeit enforcement. Federal, state, and local law enforcement officials. Expertise and tools to make enforcement measures more efficient. With eEnforce, there's no need to start from scratch when you realize enforcement efforts are necessary. Nearly a decade of putting a stop to unauthorized sellers and other online offenders. Automated processes for detecting unauthorized sales around the globe. Proprietary technology for analyzing the worst offenders so brands can prioritize takedown efforts. Proprietary database of over 150,000 known top offenders and their modus operandi. 90% success rate of MAP compliance and buy box control. We free up your team's time. Flat fee, stop service anytime. 100% guaranteed service. Draft legal templates in place that can be used by your legal team to keep attorney-level enforcement costs to a minimum. Preventative strategies for ongoing success against illicit sellers. In addition to our seasoned enforcement tools, we also work with brands on preventative measures that will make future enforcement operations easier. Consulting on strategies for building the right IP. Setting up material differences to defeat the first sale doctrine defense. Assisting brands with authorized retailer and distributor networks. If your company has found in-house enforcement efforts to be less than successful or just downright frustrating, give eEnforce a try.